And welcome back for another week of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm Lieutenant John Garlick from the Sheriff's Office. Chris Wright's usually here, but you know, I think he's out chasing clouds today, so it's just me. We have a really wonderful guest coming up. But let's see what happened last week, because we had another great week of people being turned in by our viewers. 3 people arrested. Our total count is up to 3,464 people brought to justice by the good citizens of Calhoun County. We really appreciate all the hard work and everybody calling in and really taking the effort to help Calhoun County be a safer place. Now, speaking about being a safer place, schools have started back last week. We've got lots of buses on the road, and most importantly, there's a lot of traffic in the mornings at all the county schools with parents picking up kids or dropping off kids, and in the afternoon when they're picking them up. So Highway 9 can get a little dicey with the traffic backing up. In Alexandria, it can get a little dicey with traffic backing up. So I ask everybody who's out there driving, whether you're dropping a kid off, picking him up, or just driving by the school, be alert, be hyper-vigilant, watch out for the children, and above all, be patient with the other drivers around you. With that said, we're going to take a little break, watch the first half of the lineup, and I'll see you right back here in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am
sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston Stroud with Family Links, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. We've all been hurt. You can't be an adult or teen alive today who hasn't experienced some kind of emotional pain. But what you do with that hurt is probably more important than the hurt itself. Blaming others for our hurt is what most of us start off doing. However, the problem with blaming others is that it can often leave you powerless. The only way you can accept new joy and happiness into your life is to make space for it. If your heart is filled up with pain and hurt, how can you be open to anything new? Number 1, make the decision to let go. Things don't disappear on their own. You need to make the commitment to let it go. If you don't make the conscious choice up front, you could end up self-sabotaging any effort to move on from this past hurt. And number 2, express your pain and your responsibility. Express the pain the hurt made you feel, whether it's directly to the other person or through just getting it out of your system, like venting to a friend or writing in a journal or writing a letter that you never send to the other person. Get it all out of your system at once. Doing so will also help you understand what specifically your hurt is about and what role you played in it. Number 3, stop being the victim and blaming others. Being the victim feels good. It's like being on the winning team of you against the world. But guess what? The world largely doesn't care, so you need to get over yourself. Yes, you're special. Yes, your feelings matter. But don't confuse your feelings matter to your feelings should override all else and nothing else matters. Your feelings are just one part of this large thing we call life. So why choose to engage in so much thought and devote so much energy to a person who you feel has wronged you? Number 4, focus on the present, the here and now, enjoy. Now it's time to let go. Let go of the past, stop reliving it, stop telling yourself and others that story where you are forever the victim of this other person's horrible actions. You can't undo the past. All you can do is make today the best day of your life. And number 5, forgive them and yourself. We may not have to forget another person's bad behaviors, but virtually everybody deserves our forgiveness. Sometimes we get stuck in our pain and our stubbornness, and we can't even imagine forgiveness. But forgiveness isn't saying, I agree with what you did. Instead, it's saying, I don't agree with what you did, but I forgive you anyway. Forgiveness isn't a sign of weakness. Instead, it's simply saying, I'm a good person, you're a good person, you did something that hurt me, but I want to move forward in my life and welcome joy back into it. And I can't do that fully until I let this go. I know this stuff is hard and that it's incredibly hard to let go of one's pain. If we've held on to it for a long time, it feels like an old friend. But nobody's life should be defined by their pain. It's not healthy and it adds to our stress. It hurts our ability to focus, study, and work, and it impacts every other relationship we have. So remember, do everybody and yourself a big favor. Let go of the pain. Do something different today and welcome happiness back into your life. For more tips, please call Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, LaQuarte Crook. Mr. Crook, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation violation on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And this is Stephanie Johnson. Miss Johnson, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation violation on theft of property. Second. And we'd like you to meet Tanya Bradley. Miss Bradley, last known to be living in Piedmont. She's wanted for probation revocation on fraudulent use of a credit card. And this is Jackie Wade Lee Studdard. Mr. Studdard, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted for failure to appear on obstruction of justice using a false ID. Take a look at Jenny Lunsford. Miss Lunsford, last known to be living in Oxford. She's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a forged instrument. Second. And this is Deldreco Long. Mr. Long, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for being a parole violator on burglary. Third. Last up in our first half of the lineup, Jonathan Sistrunk. Mr. Sistrunk, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted also for being a probation or a parole violator for assault. Second. And that's the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second later in the show. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in that lineup that you recognize, and if you did, give us a call so we can come pick them up. Right now, we're going to talk to our very own district attorney, Brian McVeigh, and we have lots to be proud of with you. You just received an award for District Attorney of the Year in the state of Alabama.
Yes.
And you got some accolades from our county commission last week as well.
They gave me an award to thank me for winning the award.
They're a little behind,
yes.
But they got caught up.
Yes.
But that's not the first award you won for working with the DA's office.
As far as I know, I'm the first person to ever win the Assistant DA of the Year, which I did in 2011, and then go on to win the DA of the Year award, which I did this past year, or this year.
And that's outstanding, and it's good for you, and we're proud of you, but it's not bragging on your right. It's really bragging for Calhoun County that we in this county can have talented and dedicated people working as public servants is a wonderful thing, and that we get recognized for the stuff we do here is great for the county, and it's great for you, and really it's great for the state of Alabama.
I think there's more bragging rights for the Assistant DA of the Year, to be honest with you, that I won because I did so at a time when Joe Hubbard, who was here before me, was sick with cancer, and so it was more about what I did locally, taking care of Calhoun and Cleveland County and dealing with the files and that sort of thing. The DA of the Year award is more for what I did outside of the county and what I brought back to the county and working with the legislature and that sort of thing. So it's two different views of the same job, basically. As you know, the budget has been a pitfall for us, and I've been working through some of those budget issues and have been successful in that. And so I think that made me stand out amongst my peers, which is flattering, but that wasn't the reason that I did it. We really were in bad need of some financial shot in the arm, or at least and we still don't know whether there will be a state budget, but at least a break-even point where we knew what our budget was going to be. And so that has been kind of my focus lately, and that is probably why I won the award. But again, it has more to do with the county and the two-county circuit, and just a recognition is nice. But really what I want to do is make sure that we have the same size staff and the same size aggressive nature towards taking care of the crime problem that we have.
Sure. Well, great accolades for you to get it, a wonderful award. You know, you're obviously the kind of man, the kind of professional that steps in to fill a void and take on a challenge and overcome it. And that's what the budget thing is going to be for us. It's a big challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be more of taking care of, again, there's been some changes in the way that we're going to prosecute crimes. 85% of our crimes are going to be violent crimes, as you well know, but there has been some restructuring of how they're going to address the other 15%, some discussion of prison overcrowding. Money is being diverted to places that, you know, aren't what we do. Right. And so we have to take care of ourselves, and basically that means to start off with doing more with less. And so streamlining the staff, it's the same sort of thing that we've done at the major crimes unit, but keeping our staff as thin as possible, but then again fighting for every bit of local funding that we can. So, and that's when a lot of hands are out and you're fighting against a lot of people. And so it has been a difficult struggle, but we have made positive strides in keeping our funding at least level.
Well, and you know, that nonviolent crimes and prosecuting them and handling those differently now is an interesting problem for the sheriff's office as well. Those folks, when they mess up, are going to go in for their quick dip at the county jail. Am I right?
Yes.
At the county taxpayers' expense. And it's an interesting process, and I think we'll talk more about that, but right now we've got to take our break. And please, stay with us. We have lots of good conversation coming, and look at this lineup and see if you can't find some folks you might know there.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
A wretch.
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
but now I am
sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford for the best cars and best price.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Jeanette Johnson. Miss Johnson, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to pay on unemployment compensation violation. And meet Ariel Swink. Miss Swink, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third. And this is Leslie Tucker. Mr. Tucker, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to appear on public intoxication and being a person forbidden to have a pistol. And meet Albert Robinson. Mr. Robinson, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation revocation on assault third. And we'd like you to meet Brenda Silas. Miss Silas, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on writing multiple worthless checks. And last up in our lineup this week, Jessica Bartlett. Miss Bartlett, last known to be living in Leesburg. She's also wanted for writing multiple worthless checks. That's it for our lineup this week. If you know the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. Welcome back again. Like I said, if you see somebody in that lineup, you call Will Hall. Here with our District Attorney, Brian McVeigh. We're talking about the challenges that we're going to be facing this next year, with budget cuts, the new designation of a Class D felony, or nonviolent offenders. And when you talk to the general public, I've noticed that when you say nonviolent offenders, they immediately think of drug crimes. But aren't we also talking about that person that, while you're away on vacation, breaks into your house and steals stuff?
That's a question, and that is part of what the discussion is going to be, is a burglary third or the breaking in, entering into a unoccupied residence a violent crime? It is to me, and I think most people will be appalled at how some of those cases are going to be handled. What has happened is the state has defrayed the cost down to the counties, and the counties are going to have to figure out what to do with these folks. But again, you're talking about a small amount of the criminals. So what has happened traditionally to violent criminals is going to stay the same.
Right.
And then we're going to be dealing with chaos when it comes to how do we treat these Class D offenders that come into our system. And we've got sentencing guidelines and all kind of things that are problematic. We'll be training on them, but part of what we're training on is what do we do if that comes into effect? Well, part of that law that was passed was that this law doesn't come into effect unless it's funded. And so we're still debating on whether that law even exists if it's not funded, or if it is funded, does it come into effect in January, which is when it's scheduled. So we'll be training, wish me luck, for the county, for all the law enforcement officers in the next coming weeks. To talk about that, and it's going to be a hard time for law enforcement officers to discover what's out there, what's next, and what do we even do. And there's going to be a lot of discussion back and forth between your kindred and my kindred about what to do and where to proceed. And then from there, it becomes the judge's problem. As you know, most of the drug offenses that we have settle and don't go to trial, and the judges are going to have to basically not send those people off, look for rehabs. They're going to go through the dip and dunk process that you talked about. So it's going to be hard, and the ultimate question will be, will that reduce prison overcrowding, which is what it was meant to do. The fact that we have 200% prison overcrowding means you're doing your job, right, and I'm doing my job. But when the judge's hands are tied and they cannot send off a drug offender that needs to be sent off, the question will start becoming a popular one, and it's going to happen.
It's an interesting problem with the drug offenders, because by all rights, when they put them in, when the judge orders them to rehab, it's supposed to be a licensed rehab through the Department of Mental Health. Well, there are very few licensed rehabs in Calhoun County.
I think there's one.
There's one.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a lot of rehabs out there under a church umbrella or religious umbrella of some kind. And I really think that those provide certainly some quality of service, but it's not licensed, and a lot of people don't understand that. And I believe that the judges kind of, when they order to a rehab that's unlicensed, they've kind of taken a step to say, well, we can't find a licensed one that's full, so therefore we have to do what we can.
Right, and it's going to get worse, and there's going to be more and more rehabs, and you've got cities and counties that have moved to get rid of rehabs, and just like anything else, you may run across a rehab that is great, you may run across a rehab that is poor. It's a bad time of your life to find out whether a rehab is good or bad when you're in it.
Right.
And so we're going to have to do a lot more on the local level to make sure that those rehabs are responsible and that they're doing what they're supposed to do and that they're abiding by the rules that are given to them.
That's the standard of care, and it's interesting because the Department of Corrections model, reducing prison population and shifting the demand back to the county, is the same thing the Department of Mental Health did the last couple of years, closing hospital beds, shifting demand back to the counties, and that's not working out real well.
Yes, and it's not going to work. It's just clearly not going to work. You know that, I know that, but it will take a while for the people at the Department of Corrections and other places to figure that out. But in the meantime, you and I have to deal with the aftermath of changing the rules yet again. Yep. And unfortunately, the people in the public have to deal with that. So we try our best to assimilate that, train on that, and adjust to that. And just like we have several other times, we just do more with less. And I think what you're going to have is a revolving door, even more than you ever have, of people coming into and going out of the county jail.
Yeah, we just see it's hard to fix a drug addiction. It's hard to fix mental illness. Those people need to want to change. They need to have the wherewithal and understanding of how to change, and they need a good standard of care. And we got a long way to go before we get there. So we think we're going to get a budget. Yeah.
Well, that depends. The discussion has been whether there will be a budget. There has to be a budget in place by October 1st or the government shuts down, which there may be plenty of viewers out there that say that'd be great. But the government has to function, and so there are a bunch of solutions to that problem that are being bandied about. As you know, this last special session did not go well. I anticipate this next session will be better and will be more productive, but at some point they're going to have to find a way, the legislators are going to have to find a way to get a budget that the governor will sign, and that's going to be very difficult, and it's going to require a lot of creative thinking.
Creative thinking indeed. Well, I know when it comes to the district attorney's office, you are the creative thinker. You're the guy that steps up and gets the job done and solves the problem. So appreciate you being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Congratulations in your award, and we're just honored and privileged to have you in our county. So thank you, and we'll be right back after this crime caseload for you to look at. I got a lot of interesting cases there. So take a look at that, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
A wretch.
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
but now I am
sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put your deer stalkers on and help our investigators with these cases. First up, between July 28th and August 8th, a shed located on Zan Williams Drive in East Aboga was broken into. They got away with a string trimmer and a leaf blower. And sometime on August 14th, this residence on Seven Springs Road in Wellington was broken into. Electronics, firearms, medication, and jewelry were stolen from that location. And last up on your caseload, between August 12th and August 13th, the white Ford F450 rollback wrecker was stolen from a business located on Highway 431 in Alexandria. At that same day, about 2 o'clock in the morning, the suspects used that wrecker to attempt to steal the ATM machine at Regions Bank, located on Highway 431 in Anniston. Then a mini excavator was stolen from another business located on Highway 431 in Alexandria. The suspects used that excavator and attempted to steal the ATM machine at BB&T Bank in Alexandria. The mini excavator was left at the scene at BB&T Bank. Damage was caused to both ATM machines, but no money was taken. The Ford F450 rollback wrecker was located later on a dirt road off of Bynum Leatherwood Road. If you have any information on this case or the others, please let the folks at Crime Stoppers know at 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name. Well, we hope you know something about those cases you just looked at, and if you did, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers. It's important. Had a good lineup this week for you to look at. A lot of people arrested. Had a great guest to give us all information. And we want you to take that information, think about it, digest it, and make right choices when it's time to do so. We've got a lot of challenges facing us in the next fiscal year. Also want to remind you about the school traffic. That's a very important thing. I said it at the top of the show. I'm saying it at the bottom, so that's a clue that safety is the #1 issue. Lots of traffic out there. Usually it subsides after the first couple of 3 weeks of school traffic. People get their bearings and everything. But in the meantime, stay alert, stay safe, and we'll see you next week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted, but hopefully not in the lineup.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
A wretch.
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
but now I am
sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.